Alright guys, Darren from FBA Elite and welcome back to another video. So in this week's video, I'm going to be revealing a product to you guys, explaining to you why I have had to walk away from it, and also some of the lessons that I've learned and you guys can learn from me going through this process. So I've got the product right next to me here. So initially I'm going to talk you through why I picked the product and talk you through the niche. Then I'm going to explain to you why I've had to walk away from this product, and also the lesson that you guys can learn about walking away is a vital lesson to learn with your Amazon FBA business, or actually with any business, knowing when is the right time to walk away, even if you financially have made some sort of commitment towards that product or whatever venture that you're looking into. So this is the product. Let me see if that comes into focus. Let's put it up the right way, shall we? Around the pink dinosaur. So this is actually what is called a splash mat. So this goes under a high chair. It's got, as you can see, it's got a funky design on top, and underneath you've got an anti-slip bottom with little rubber dots on to stop the mat moving around. So it's called a high chair splash mat, and the reason that it appealed to me is from kind of a technical perspective, it fit within my product research criteria that I was looking for. But also, as many of you guys know, I became a parent coming up 2 years ago now. So I've got a little one. So I actually understand this sector, or this niche quite well now, baby products. If I looked at selling baby products kind of 3 years ago when I started my FBA business, I'd have no idea what I was doing. But having spent a couple of years in the niche, living it every day, I feel I have a much better idea of the type of products that would and wouldn't work. And that's one piece of advice you guys should take, is always focus on niches and sectors you have first-hand experience with. So if you've got kids, you're going to understand the baby niche better than someone that doesn't. If you've got pets, maybe you'll focus on the pet niche. If you like clothing, think about all the things that you know a lot about, focus on that, and that will give you an advantage and make it easier to develop the product. So that was one of the first reasons why I chose that product. And the next reason, let me take you through to the niche. So let's put in, don't know why my caps is on, but we'll put splash mats for under high chair. That's what we're going to look at here. And let's take a look at the products first so you guys can see them actually laid out. So they all look very much the same with just some different patterns. And to be honest, again, this is one of the things that stood out to me. These don't look overly exciting, and these are all terribly photoshopped high chairs onto these splash mats. So some proper photography in the first place would help you stand out in this niche. But let's go and take a look at the niche from a stats perspective. So let's run helium 10. You guys know I use this all the time. So this is X-ray from helium 10 for any of you guys that haven't seen this before. And let me talk you through from left to right why this niche appealed to me. So as I just mentioned, looking through the search results, nothing really stood out. They all look quite generic. Yes, some of them are using different patterns, but from a photography perspective, it's all very quite dull, grey, beigey, and bad Photoshop. So that was the first opportunity. Next thing, there's no one brand dominating here. So I think maybe Mamas and Papas is a known brand. So that wasn't really an issue. So no brand domination. Price point, I thought was reasonable. And I'm going to come back to that later on in the video, as it is one of the issues. Sales, I was just looking for a product selling between 150 to 200 products per month, as my plan at the moment is to have more products selling less per month than going all in on a product that requires thousands of units being sold per month, as then you're heavily financially invested into each individual product. This way, you're much more diversified. So looking at this from a sales perspective, yes, okay, you've got these guys at 700, but if I want to sell between 150 and 200, you've got these guys here around the 250 mark. These ones are a bit higher, but you can see here on the first page, you've got people at 50, 21 and 8 breaking onto the first page. But come down a bit further and you'll start to see some more of these people that I was talking about at the 150 level. So when I first started Amazon FBA, search results would always kind of almost be listed in demand order to an extent. But recently I've noticed over the past few months is Amazon really fluctuate the order of the products within the search results. So now I don't necessarily just focus here. I look a bit deeper to look for the sort of products and the demand levels that I want to see. It's quite often you'll see a product here in 25th one day, and then next day it will be in the top 10. So Amazon really do mess around with the rankings at the moment. And that goes back to my video last week. Take a screenshot of these so you can come back at another time, compare them, and you can see how much the niche has changed, because like I say, Amazon really does like to mess around with the order of these results. So I thought, yes, I can get a product here, I can get ranked on the first page. If these guys are getting ranked with very few sales on the first page, and there's the opportunity to get kind of 200, 250 sales, that appeals to me. So that's why I wanted to get involved in this niche. From a seasonality perspective, I don't think there's anything to check here. Babies are all year round. So yes, you can look into, for example, at the top, the search volume and see how this has been. And if we go to the 1 year view, you can see that the search volume history, yes, it has a couple of peaks and troughs, but there's not a big difference throughout the year. So this is just purely search volume. Another way you can do it is to jump straight onto the sales graph, which is another really great feature from X-Ray. So if we pick one with high reviews, so for example, I think the one I'm actually hovered on at the moment, click on the graph, we can see their sales history. So excluding this random dip here, which could have been out of stock or something, or them just losing their ranks, they've sold consistently well from May 2020 all the way through to August 2021. So there's good sales history there and kind of rules out any seasonality issues. You can do that for a number of products just to make sure that is definitely the case. Come across a bit further, FBA fees look absolutely fine. Review counts, like I say, aren't really an issue because you've got people with few sales and low reviews on this first page. So if you've got a good product, I'm fairly confident you'd get onto this first page quite easily. And review velocity says no one's really kind of hitting this niche hard, just some kind of regular amount of reviews you'd expect with this sort of demand level. So overall, the niche appealed to me. So I looked into it further. I brought some samples in, like the one I just showed you there of the dinosaur splash mat. And was looking to proceed with this product. I think I brought in 4 or 5 different samples with different thicknesses of materials, with different types of anti-slip on the bottom, so I could compare them all. And actually the product I've got next to me is a really great product, and I'd be happy to sell that on Amazon. However, the big issue, what actually killed this product? Why did I have to walk away from it? And it boils down to a very simple reason, and this is a rookie mistake that I shouldn't be making by now. And I advise all of the people that I mentor to check this as early as possible. And that is my profit margins. My profit figures did not stack up. So previously, I've just worked off of a general rule of thumb that if the cost price is around about 1/3 of the sale price, then I should be able to make a reasonable profit. So I was looking at this thinking, okay, I can sell at £15 to £16. I can probably source this for £5 or less, £5 of fees for Amazon, and then £5 profit for me. So well in excess of 30% profit margin, which is my initial goal. However, the big problem at the moment is shipping, as I've alluded to in many previous videos. So that is impacting these types of products. But on top of that as well, my business is VAT registered again. So at this price point, would probably knock another £1 or so profit off for this type of product. So let me talk you through the actual figures for this product and explain to you why I'm not going to be proceeding with this. So on Helium 10, there's another really cool tool called the Estimate Profitability, and this is available either from within the search results, from on the product listing, so we can click through to one of these. So let me pick one at $16.99, as that is the price point I was going to be targeting. I'll jump on Helium 10, and we'll click on the Profitability Calculator. Now let me blow this up a bit so you guys can see the text. I'm assuming that's going to move right over there, but let's make it a bit bigger for you guys and pop that over there. I might actually need to make that a little bit smaller, otherwise you're not going to see the figures at the bottom. There you go. You guys can see the profit margins. So let's take this. This is the profitability calculator from Helium 10. So I'm planning to sell at $16.99. It automatically pulls through the dimensions of this product as this product appears on Amazon. So that's really, really helpful. It also pulls through the weight as well. You can see there it's classing it as a standard parcel, which sounds about right. And that's what I had in mind when I was looking at this product. So manufacturing cost, I managed to be able to source this at £4, which I was quite happy with, as it's quite a nice blanket or splash mat. That then we get to the freight cost. So based on my previous shipments I've had the past couple of months, I worked out approximately that to bring in 500 of these would have been around £500. As these only weigh about half a kilo, I think they said, 0.52. So they're not overly heavy, but what that does, that works out approximately, adds £1 on per unit. So if we're bringing in a custom freight cost, a custom amount rather than doing it by any other metric, so around £500 is going to cost me to bring in, say, 500 units. That's working out at £1 per unit. So that goes on to the cost. The fulfillment method is local and domestic. So you're not using EFN, you're not using the European fulfillment network, you're just selling directly within the UK. FBA fee, just leave that on most goods. It won't fall under any of those other categories. Estimated time in storage, I'm going to put 2 months. So that's how long I think it would take me to sell through 500 of these. It might be 3 months, especially with launching the product. I'm going to say 2 months for this example. And then you can actually choose the category as well. So this would be going into the baby products. So it would apply the relevant referral fee, which will probably be 15.7%, I think is a typical referral fee for most categories. And then VAT, I'm VAT registered, so it's 20%, and customs duty and tariffs, then I have 5% customs duty on the import. And when you can see the overall figure, that brings my profit margin down to £3.69. So that's why for me, at 26% profit margin, it's just not high enough. If I could get this to kind of £5 and above, then it might be worth doing. But with being VAT registered and the high shipping costs, this product isn't viable for me. So if you're starting an Amazon FBA business at the moment and you're not VAT registered, you might want to look into this product, as you may be able to get closer to that £5 margin. And if shipping fees start to come down, and in the last few weeks we've seen signs that things are topping out and are starting to turn, then potentially money could be made. So if you imagine a scenario where you can still source them at £4 and maybe it only costs you £500 to bring in 1,000 units, you half your shipping cost, then things start to get a bit more profitable. And if you've got another £1 available because you're not VAT registered, that pushes it over the £5, and all of a sudden you're in excess of 30% margin and you have somewhere to work from. But that's why I had to knock this product on the head, because the profit margins just weren't going to stack up. And despite the fact I was financially invested in the samples, multiple samples, and the time and the belief that I really wanted to sell this product, I had to walk away from it. And it's something I see quite often with people that I mentor. They find a good product, they go through the process, and sometimes they'll get to a point where they realize actually this product isn't going to be viable, whether it's profitability, whether they are finding they're going to be unable to stand in the niche. Maybe shipping costs have got so high they just don't have the capital to actually order the inventory and a second batch of inventory as well. But you have to recognize when that happens and be willing to walk away. There will always be another opportunity. There'll be another product that fits your current criteria better. And that's what I've got to start the search for now. So hopefully you guys find that useful, seeing what's happened to me. If you did like the look of the profitability calculator from Helium 10, as I mentioned in last week's video, just use any of the discount codes. So FBA Elite 50 will get you 50% off of your first month. So you can see there, brings down the overall cost to $49.50, or FBA Elite 10 if you plan on using it long term, and that will give you 10% off every single month. Or you can use either of those codes and click the annual button there, and you'll get 3 months off in total. So that is the most cost efficient way to buy Helium 10 if you plan on using it long term, like I currently do. If you're not already a member, make sure you go to FBAelite.com, sign up. It is completely free. Go onto the forums. We've got forums covering all areas of Amazon FBA, and I try to reply to as many of those as possible. We've also got the resource section on there with lots of useful templates you can use for your FBA business, discount codes for things like Helium 10 and the FBA Elite course, of course. And if you found this video useful, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button. And to wrap up the video, I'm going to pop up a link to a video that will help you guys develop your very own product research criteria. And I'll see you guys on the forums.